Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Dr. Doxy. Welcome back to the channel. I am real excited today because for those of you who've been keeping track of me a little while, you'll know that I'm currently on a little bit of a deep dive of One Piece. I watched The Breathtaking World of One Piece, which was really eye-opening, but didn't quite grab me. As beautiful as it was, didn't quite grab me. I watched One Piece, The Greatest Story Ever Told, and that was really good, but again, like, as informative as it was, it didn't quite grab me by the balls like I wanted it to. And I kept seeing this comment saying like, hey, these are really good videos, but if you want to really kind of deep dive into One Piece, you have to watch The Appeal of One Piece by Super Eyepatch Wolf. So I'm doing that today, and we're going to see what we think. We're going to see how we enjoy it. We're going to see if it actually does grab us the way that it seems to grab everybody else. Like, I'm excited to find it out. It's a little experiment between me and you guys. Hey, who knows what's going to happen. But as always, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Press the like button, hit the bell, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. I'm not going to keep telling you to do it because you're bored of hearing it, let's be honest. But yeah, with that being said, on with the show.
For a while now,
I don't know
there
what
has
to
been
expect
a certain
from this.
ominous shadow cast across this channel.
Hey, I
You
guess
see,
we're going to find out.
as a YouTuber, I'm generally known for four things.
What are you known
my
for, my
long,
friend?
in-depth videos, my love of all things shonen, my utterly flawless spelling, and my absolutely perfect pronunciation of the Japanese language.
Japanese,
The
yeah?
problem with those former two
Okay.
is that at some points it means that
That's a
I
new one.
need to do a video on the series One Piece. Which is fine, I like One Piece quite a lot.
I'm
in
sure I'd
fact.
like it if I watched it.
But the issue comes
seen
from
it.
how insanely long the series is, currently residing at its 833rd chapter,
Oh,
and the
I
staggering
can't read
breadth
that
of its
much.
world, which, according to the One Piece wiki, has currently 866
Huh?
named characters.
How are you
I know because
remembering
I
all these
counted, and it took
names?
a long time.
I get lost
So
after
how
like
does one
6.
talk about such a massive series like One Piece?
Jeez.
Well, the answer that I've come to, at least, is the same way that one devours a whale.
A whale.
And that is piece by piece.
One Piece.
One piece.
Yeah, I kind of saw that one coming. Oh, okay.
Fuck no, that's not
And so, what we're going
Don't
to
know
do
these
here
guys.
today is that rather than go straight into a full-blown why you should watch/read, which,
Right.
don't worry, we will get to, is to first put out a
Ooh,
shorter
got bonked
video
on the
covering
head.
what I consider some of the broader structural aspects of One Piece.
I'm
which
cool
will then
with that,
free us
man.
up and
I
allow us
wanna-
to take a much
I wanna
deeper dive
learn.
into the characters and themes later on.
I like
So
information.
with this in mind,
Give me some
my
information.
friends, please sit back, relax, and consider this an entree with the main course still
Okay.
to come.
Ooh, that was
and let's
tasty.
discuss
Right,
the
I'm comfy.
appeal
I'm
of
good.
One Piece.
I'm good. I'm comfy on my chair.
Where to start? I first encountered One Piece in 2006 on the UK television version of Toonami.
What the
And
hell was that?
unbeknownst to
I
me
don't remember
at the
that on
time,
Toonami.
What I was watching was the infamous 4Kids dub, which would become well known over time for its questionable translation and excessive amounts
this
of
song.
censorship. And even despite these factors, I really came to enjoy the adventures of Nami, Zoro, and of course Luffy.
I know
the series
Luffy.
had
That's
a
the one
unique
character I know.
playfulness to it that made it stand out from other more stoic series I'd seen up until this point, like Bleach and Dragon Ball Z.
Hey,
and
Dragon
even
Ball.
in the show's more dramatic moments, there was always a tremendous amount of fun to be had. Of course, as I watched the imaginative pirate adventure on my parents' old TV, what I was completely unaware of was what a world-shattering phenomenon I was actually dealing with. That revelation
how
would
big are
only
we
strike me
talking?
several years later, when, on a trip to Japan, it became
Ah,
obvious what a
I miss
massive
Japan,
deal
man.
One Piece actually was.
I miss Japan so much. I
Around
went
every
like
corner
6
in
years ago.
every shop seemed to lie
Loved it.
another new piece of Straw Hat Pirate merchandise. Luffy and his ragtag crew
Damn.
were everywhere on everything. One Piece branded bread, One Piece
I
bath
didn't think it
salts,
was
even
this
entire
big. I
One
knew it
Piece
was
branded
big, but not
shops.
like, you know.
It was incredible to see how what I thought was a
This
simple
grand.
show about pirates utterly dominate the mass
Madness.
consciousness of a single country. The closest thing I could liken it to was the Simpsons mania of
I
early
remember
90s
that.
America. This
That
was,
was
of course, before I started
huge in, like,
looking
the
into things like
90s.
global sales figures and weekly shonen rankings. And if I had, I would have known things like the fact that One Piece has sold over 400 million units worldwide, making it
Damn.
the third biggest selling comic in existence.
Actually,
recently beating its
actually, it is the second now. I think at the time of this video it was the third, but I now know because a lovely person whose name I've totally forgotten, but I will put you around here somewhere, told me that it is now second because it overtook Batman, I believe, and it's just behind Superman. little factoid for you guys.
Spider-Man for the number 3 spot, leaving only Batman and Superman
there you go.
ahead of it.
I was right.
And even then, in 2016, Batman sold 1,859,956
Really?
units. And
People
Superman
still
sold
buy Batman comics?
828,069
Or Superman
units.
comics. I don't
And
think
you could
comics
even
sold
roughly
like that
double
no
the
more.
sales of both series by taking into account all their offshoot titles. And it still wouldn't even come close to
much
the
you talking?
12 million in sales that One Piece sold that same year.
That's a
And
lot
where
of
things
units.
really start to get crazy is that if these trends were to continue and One Piece were to run for another decade, it would nearly certainly surpass Batman in lifetime global sales.
It did over
And if it
Shadow
were to
Batman.
run for another 2 decades, which for Oda's sake I hope doesn't happen, it would surpass even Superman, becoming the biggest selling comic in existence.
I believe,
no, I'm not
didn't
saying
he
I think
say
this
it was
will
only going to
happen,
go on for like
but
5
it's
more
a
years
hell
at
of a thing
most?
to consider. And
Or
so,
am I wrong on that?
how has a series about
feel
a
like I'm wrong on
pirate
that.
boy made of rubber
Who knows?
managed to capture
Someone
the
tell me in the
hearts and
comments.
minds of so many people worldwide?
Damn, look at
Well,
his
to
face.
put it simply, the primary appeal of One Piece is the simple premise of adventure. And yes, that is also the core concept of countless other shonen series,
Pretty much.
but nothing really captures the same sense of scale and exploration as the world of pirates. Our hero on this voyage is the energetic young pirate,
Monkey D. Luffy.
Luffy is a simple character with a simple goal, to find the mysterious treasure only known as One Piece, and in doing so, become king of the pirates. This was Luffy's primary motivator from chapter 1.
Oh, look
and
at that, we
remains
got
so in
manga
chapter
footage
804.
too.
And this keeps Luffy's journey
man is
along the one
prepared.
distinct path, which is a concept surprisingly unique to One Piece. In most other shonen series, our heroes will go on several different large adventures throughout the course of its run, and these are what make up the arcs. But in One Piece's case, it's always the same journey along the same path, to the point that you can actually chart Luffy's route out on a physical map. And
Wow.
the sub-arcs come from the various different islands or land masses the crew encounters along the way. This
The
works
amount of depth
particularly
to
well
this is
as it makes the
ridiculous.
core story of One Piece very easy to understand, while also allowing for a massive amount of variety in the series sub-arcs. Some can be very simple, like the Barty arc, in which the Straw Hats visit a famous
I have
sailing
no
restaurant in order to recruit a chef.
I will watch it at some
or
point,
very
I promise.
complicated, like the Dressrosa arc,
I'll give it a
in
go
which
at
the
least,
crew
anyway.
must untangle a web of political intrigue and face down a vicious and tyrannical false king. And because of how the arcs are structured,
Power.
with literal massive quantities of ocean between them, there's no real limit to the kind of stories One Piece can tell. They start off fairly villain of the week-esque, with most enemies being rival pirate captains.
Of course,
but as
no,
we
I
move
expected
on,
that.
we
I
see the
expected
Straw
that a
Hats
little bit.
embroiled in government conspiracies, abducted by massive haunted ghost ships,
Ooh.
springing jailbreaks, and even being at the center of large-scale global conflicts.
Okay,
And throughout
fair
the
enough, that
entire
sounds kinda
adventure,
cool.
there's this real genuine sense of time and progress. When Luffy sets out on his journey from Fuchsia Village, he has little more to his name than a wooden dinghy and his straw hat. And now, 20 years later, he's an infamous pirate warlord, the world-famous captain of one of the most renowned pirate crews in all of existence.
Okay,
the
so
Straw
I
Hat
like a good
Pirates,
character
of whom
arc,
include
so,
a master
you know.
samurai, a technologically advanced pantsless cyborg, and even
Pantsless
an undead
cyborg?
violinist with a awful, amazing sense of humor. One of the
Okay.
core joys of One Piece is watching Luffy slowly
You had me
ascend
at Pantsless
status
Cyborg.
and build his crew as each new
Must be
battle
honest.
propels him closer to his dream while also increasing his notoriety worldwide. It's not ever a story you could accuse of moving quickly, but it is always moving. And I think it's only when you look back that you see how far Luffy and his crew have
I mean,
actually
you can't
come.
expect it to move
Of course,
quickly or
the
like 1,000
success of an
episodes,
adventure
can you?
series is largely dependent
I can
on
expect
the world
that,
the
that's
adventure
fine.
takes place in. And this is another area where the series shines. One Piece's world, to put it simply, is the largest, most intricately detailed and well thought out of any of the long-running shonen
I
series.
can't believe that.
Which may not be obvious
From what
from
I
the
saw in
offbeat
the
cartoonish
breathtaking
designs of
World
Oda's
of One Piece, I
artwork,
can believe
but
that.
make no mistake, this is a world of layers with its own government, economy, cultural and
looks
racial
really
divides, with
in-depth.
many, many different factions, all of whom have their own philosophies and
Ah,
motivations.
he's a bit flamboyant.
While Luffy and his crew are often at the center or at least involved in large-scale global incidents, the world also progresses entirely separate to them. Major plot incidents completely separate from
That
the
man
Straw
needs
Hats
a
are common,
dentist?
and when they do
That's what I'm
occur,
gonna say.
they reverberate throughout the world on such a scale that it drastically affects the lives of every character in it, such as Porticus D. Ace's showdown with Blackbeard that resulted in the Great Summit War. It always feels like there's a larger picture in One Piece, and depending on the global political climate of the time, Luffy and the Straw Hats' allies and enemies can switch from arc to arc, giving the world this intriguing, ever-changing dynamic.
There's
and
that
so One
much
Piece's
depth.
world succeeds on a grand scale. But what may be even more impressive is the characters that Oda has filled it with. What
way
at
too
first
many
can seem like a
characters.
cartoonish
Oh,
gag
Lord,
character
hello.
can, through Oda's storytelling, become a portrait of life at its
He's a very
cruelest
pink
and most
man.
tragic. And this information is often delivered through weighty flashback stories, in which we're taken through the key moments of a character's life. And while a badly used flashback can utterly kill the momentum of a series, Oda uses them in such a way to give his characters weight, grounding, and motivation that otherwise just wouldn't be possible. Like, seriously, you see this dumb-looking idiot in a diaper?
I do.
This is Senor Pink, and this guy
Senor
has a
Pink.
backstory that is absolutely heartbreaking.
Really?
And upon hearing it, it completely changes everything about how you see him.
Without
Moving swiftly along,
stereotyping,
actually,
he
no,
looks
wait,
like
wait,
a
no,
joke
no.
character.
I know
rather
some
than
of
a...
you out there don't believe me,
Sad.
so we're gonna prove it.
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
do this.
Go ahead.
Senor Pink started out his adult life as a member of the brutal Don Quixote crime family, where his
Okay.
days were frequently filled with criminal activity and brutal violence. Until one day, in the pouring rain, he met a woman who he immediately fell in love with. They got married, had a
Oh,
child,
that's kind
and
of
for
sweet.
a while at least,
I like that.
everything was perfect. Except
Where'd
that
it go
Pink
wrong?
was still involved in the Don Quixote family,
Right.
which he hid from his wife for fear that she might leave him. One day he's called away on a secret mission and disappears for an entire week, and upon returning, discovers that the day he left, his precious son had passed away.
Okay,
And now
that
his
sucks.
wife,
That's
furious
horrible.
and heartbroken, demands an
That's horrible.
explanation. And he tells her everything, at which point she demands he stay away from her, rushes from the home in the pouring rain, before getting into an accident that leaves her in a vegetative state. Pink, devastated by the events, visits her every day in hospital, until one day,
Oh,
on a
fucking
whim,
mate.
puts on a bonnet reminiscent of their son in an attempt to entertain her. And miraculously, she cracks a small, delicate smile.
That's nice.
And so, for the sake of seeing his wife smile,
he dresses like
continues to
that at
dress
all
more
times.
and more elaborately,
Oh,
even enjoying the
fucking
ridicule
hell,
of everyone
man.
around him. Years later, his wife too has
Kudos
passed,
to you,
but he
my
still
friend,
dresses this way
kudos.
out of remembrance for her and of his beloved son. And so, one of the silliest looking characters in One Piece actually
like,
has legitimate character
real
motivation for
dark
dressing this way.
backstory.
And in justifying this, he becomes an actual
cry.
grounded, tangible character. What really gets me here is that this is one tiny, inconsequential character in One Piece's world. And yet still, Oda manages to imbue him with a sense of depth and grounding many writers fail to give even their main protagonists. And that's to say
Yeah,
nothing
no, I
of
can
the
agree with
amazing
that.
job
It's-
Oda's
that
done in establishing the
was
main major
deeper than
heroes
most
and
main
villains
characters.
of One Piece's story. Having so many characters with such fleshed out histories and motivation is the primary factor that makes One Piece's worlds feel so vivid and alive, and makes each individual character feel like a true story in their own right. The last thing I'd like to talk about with One Piece is also one of its least tangible
I will give it
elements,
credit,
and that
every
is the
character is very
creativity
unique
and
looking.
imagination that's gone into it. There's always a sense that when reading One Piece, Oda himself is enjoying the world and characters more than anyone. It can be seen in the new and creative ways Luffy uses his at first seemingly limited power.
It's very well
it can be seen in
drawn
the
as well.
bizarre visual design of many of the
Kudos
world's
to the
inhabitants
drawings.
and the camaraderie
Or to the
that
artists,
takes
I should
place
say.
between the Straw Hats, and even in the ever-evolving, unique structure of Oda's story arcs. He always seems like an author not striving to hit a deadline, but an artist creating a world and story distinctly of his own vision. This is something we're going
Yeah,
to dig
that's what
a
I said
lot
about how
deeper
unique
into
it
in a
is.
future video, but for now, just trust me, simply no one writes a story like Ichiro Oda. So with all that in mind, where should you start?
That's exactly my
Well,
question.
the obvious answer
I
is
don't know
page
where to
1,
start.
chapter 1. The manga is for the
Really?
most part a fantastic
Page
read,
1, yeah?
but I understand people's reluctance to get into it given its
Come
insane
on,
length.
Eyepatch.
And the anime comes with many of its own issues too, such as a weak production run and masses of filler. But if you're curious to know if One
was
Piece
told
really
always
is
to
for
read
you or
it
not,
rather
or
than
even
watch
if you
it.
just want to dip your toe in, allow me to present a different option, and that is the fantastic One Piece Movie 6, Baron Amatsuri
Okay.
and the Secret Islands. Directed by Mamoru Hosoda of the Digimon movie The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars, the
I
movie
like 2 of those 3
encapsulates in a
movies.
digestible 90 minutes everything that makes One Piece as a series so much fun, on top of having some absolutely gorgeous animation and character designs, and one of the darkest and hardest right turns I've seen in any film.
Hey,
for a
it's like
while.
Flowey
It
from
requires
Undertale.
basically no prior knowledge of One Piece or its world to enjoy, and I think even if you have zero interest in One Piece, Seeing one of Japan's most talented directors put his own unique spin on the
That was
world of
kinda cool.
pirates is absolutely
real
worth
cool.
checking out.
Kind of
Guys,
badass.
that's going to do it for my intro into One Piece, and there is still a ton more we need to talk about. The characters, their themes, Oda's unique visual aesthetic,
Wow.
and what cursed fruit he ate in order to actually be able to constantly produce a manga of such quality. And we shall in a full-blown why you should watch/read One Piece coming later this year. But I hope this video, at the very least, has given you a foothold with which to get started.
Okay, so first and foremost, thank you to Super Eyepatch Wolf for doing that. If you haven't checked this channel out in the past, do it. The link will be in the description below, same to the actual original video and all that kind of stuff. But that was really, really eye-opening. Like, I've been asking for a while for a video that kind of summed up One Piece in a way that would kind of not give too much away, but give you a little bit of what the story's about and what the purpose is. Obviously, I knew it was pirates, I knew it was a hunt for treasure, like the whole One Piece thing, but I didn't really know anything in depth about it, and I think that was a really good video that gave me a lot of information without spoiling anything if I do choose to watch it, which after that, I'm not gonna lie, I can see why people say that it makes people want to watch One Piece, because, I mean, he said it himself, even if you have no interest in One Piece, go watch this. And I went into this deep dive of One Piece with very little, if any, interest in One Piece. But it's piqued my interest, like, my brain's kind of turned on to it, not literally. So I might end up checking it out. If I do, you guys will be the first people to know because it will be on the channel. But I didn't know it had the level of depth it did. And now I know a lot of people are going to say like, oh, well, of course it does. It's like this long. It's 800 and however many chapters long. And it's got 866 characters. Of course it's deep. I know that. But like a good example would be that kind of Senior Pink guy. Looking at him, he looked like an idiot, like a kind of joke character, like the humor end of the show, shall we say. But then you hear his backstory and you hear his whole, like, how sad everything was for him and why he's dressed like a moron and why he looks as bad as he does, and it's all for his wife and his kids, and it's heartbreaking, it's horrible. Like, you would never think that about a character who looks so silly. But I like that. I like character depth. I like character arcs. I like progression. I like kind of seeing into the background of things. And I think I can understand why it sells as much as it does, even though I didn't know people still bought like comics of Batman and Superman. But hey, we all learned something today, didn't we? All in all, I think going forward, I might check it out. Like, I have friends telling me to check it out, like, and they've said if you don't like it, go to, I think it's Arlong Park. If you can't get into it by then, it's probably not for you. So I'm happy to give it a shot. I think this has made me more interested in One Piece than I was 25 minutes ago, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. I wanted to be grabbed, and I feel not aggressively grabbed, but I feel like I've been pushed into a direction now that's saying like, do it, just do it. You know you want to. So hey, maybe I will. We'll have to see. Time will tell. Well, I think that just about does it for today, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to leave a comment, like I said earlier, and leave a like, all that fun stuff that you normally do. Tell me why you like One Piece. Like, tell me what dragged you into it in the first place, because I'm genuinely really curious. But have a great day, people, and I'll see you next time. Peace.